Welcome, everybody, to the XoneBros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox community. Welcome back. It's a big week. We've got a Xbox Direct coming down the pike. We have some Starfield news. Jordan actually just got kicked from Discord, the XoneBros Discord. Welcome back. It was
just within like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. I kicked him.
Accidentally banned him.
It wasn't.
Get him out of there.
It wasn't an accident, really. It was a purposeful kick.
Get him out. Just get him out. Just get him out. We voted.
Yeah, we voted. You're off the island. Let's talk about the Xbox Showcase first, because it's kind of a big deal. The details on the Xbox Showcase is June 10th. Oh, no, June 9th. Sorry, that's Sunday.
Yeah, June 9th.
10 a.m. PT, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. British Time, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard. And that's not in this article. I just added
No,
that.
yeah, because it should be the standard.
Yeah,
it's in the title.
Standard. Yes.
I'm tired of conforming to everybody else.
Exactly. So the showcase, Xbox Game Showcase, Sunday, June 9th. Now, they have sent out FanFest. They could just call it E3. This is their E3 event. Mm-hmm. They sent out FanFest tickets. You could apply. You could pick them up. They sent those notices out today. So if anybody happened to pick some up, congratulations. We've been to FanFest. It's a good time. They're holding it at their theater in LA. Immediately following the showcase, they have side-by-side on their own artwork that they showed off today when they announced it, when everybody tweeted it about it. On the left-hand side, it's green. It says Xbox Game Showcase, Sunday, June 9th, 10 a.m. Pacific Time. On the right-hand side, it's a picture of a orange wolf.
Redacted.
And it's Redacted Direct, which is pretty cool, actually. It's actually fun to say, Redacted Direct.
Yeah, it doesn't actually say redacted. It's been redacted.
It's been redacted, but it's fun to say.
Yeah.
And it's immediately following the Xbox Showcase, and this is Black Ops. Everybody knows it.
Yeah, well, because I believe that symbol's in Call of Duty.
We are about, I have said this for a while, we are at the beginning of the Xbox domination generation, and this may be the kickoff event that starts it. We may look back with history, and this is the first time that we see it. It was the June 9th, 2024 showcase. Remember that? Xbox was reeling a little bit from some things that happened, from some bad press. Then they came out with this, first time Call of Duty on their stage, first time the Call of Duty Direct under the Xbox umbrella. This could be a big deal. Jordan, why is it a big deal?
Well, it's a big deal for two reasons. One, you just said, is this is the first time Call of Duty is under Microsoft's umbrella. I mean, I know they used to have all their deals way back on the 360, but this is like, they own them now. Yep. So this is the first Call of Duty under Microsoft's umbrella. Also, an even bigger deal, and this is why I'm excited for it, is this is the first Call of Duty with a 4-year development cycle.
For Quattro.
Yes, which I believe a few years ago it was a 2-year development cycle, and then I think recently in the last couple of years Activision changed it to a 3-year development cycle, but this is the first one with a 4-year development cycle. So what are they going to do with the extra year?
Love. Give it love.
Yeah, I hope. No, so I'm actually excited to see what they've done with, I mean, let's call it a proper development cycle. I mean, 4 years, I think, it's probably still not enough time in developers' eyes, but I mean, that seems like a good amount of time to get a new Call of Duty out. So I'm excited to see what they have. And, I mean, everybody likes Black Ops.
Yeah. Yeah, Black Ops is good.
I mean, those are the two big ones, Black Ops and Modern Warfare. And to be honest, with Modern Warfare, as I told you guys before, I'm kind of getting tired of seeing like Nicki Minaj run all over the place. so you know, it'll be nice to go to Black Ops, depending on what they do. I mean, maybe she's in that game too.
They just went too far, huh?
Well, it's almost like, I don't know, like, because yeah, you could say Fortnite did the same thing, but
Fortnite's like cartoonish.
Yeah, I don't know. It just I mean, don't get me wrong. They still have their like milsim operators.
It doesn't feel. It doesn't.
But yeah,
it
feels like
Call
it matches.
Duty.
Yeah, it feels like it matches Fortnite a lot better.
I feel like a Nicki Minaj skin would match Fortnite better. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it just.
But like seeing Nicki Minaj running around in pink, and nothing against her. I mean, maybe she's a big COD fan, right? But it's just.
I think she's a big money fan.
Yeah, that might be.
I think that's
but it's not only
which
that,
makes her a COD fan.
Because every streamer has their skin, and Spicy, you were saying before the show, you think they went too far.
Yeah. Every streamer basically has their own skin.
Well, but see, like there's the
skin in the game.
There's like the Paul Atreus skin, which I'm like, okay, that one's kind of cool. Although to be fair, I mean, I do connect with that one a little bit more than I connect with Nicki Minaj.
That's fair.
But to be fair, that one kind of doesn't belong either. Like it feels weird. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I haven't played Warzone in a little while, so.
Yeah, any predictions we see Avowed? What do we see here? Any new IPs dropping? Any new?
This is what I'm hoping for. So I think we're going to get a little bit of what's coming this year, like Avowed and stuff like that. But what I'm hoping for is I hope we get a Fable update. You know, I don't think that's coming out this year. I think that's coming out next year. But it'd be nice to see an update, maybe a little gameplay this time and not just a pre-rendered trailer. Just kind of see what the world looks like, you know, get excited for that. I think there's going to be a Gears. I think Gears is going to be there.
Gears 6.
So-
A lot of people are wanting to see that next Gears.
I think my body's ready for another Gears.
And
Mine
what
too.
a time for Gears to drop, especially if it's something worth getting excited about.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good
You know?
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no, what a time. I just think Halo has really, I think Fallout has is starting to take up the flag here for Xbox. A traditional Xbox title, though, like Gears, an iconic title, to come and have a great showing would be absolutely huge at this time.
Yeah. So I would like to see that. Also, personally, just because I feel like the franchise needs some love and care and attention, is I would like to see, if possible, maybe the next Halo project. And if you basically just take all my ideas and criticisms that I've said in the past, it'll be a good game. Because all my ideas and criticisms are basically what they brought to Halo Infinite. So,
There you go.
Wait, what?
well, remember, like, for example, and this one,
I'm sorry, everybody. I shouldn't have gotten
Well, no, it just, when the game first came out, we were like, you know, they should have put in a battle royale. And everybody was like, you're all stupid. And now years later, everybody's like, they should have put in a battle royale. Yeah, I know. That's why I said it a year ago. And that's just one example. But just, you know, anyway.
There you go.
Although Halo is doing really well right now with their updates.
Yeah.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, you can say whatever you
Check
want.
this out.
Go ahead.
So going along with your Xbox starting to kind of come back and maybe dominate a little, check out this lineup for the fall. And this is just kind of what we know right now.
Give it to me.
So you have the new Call of Duty, which I believe is targeting somewhere in October.
Bam, wham.
Which is
Thank you,
great
ma'am.
I mean, that one's not necessarily an exclusive, but I mean, just like good for Microsoft. Like, look at this Microsoft lineup. So you have the new Call of Duty.
Yep.
We have the Shattered Space DLC for Starfield.
Yep.
You have Avowed. And then in December, you have Indiana Jones. Boom. And that's just the 4 that we know are coming. I mean, I think there's a few more that we know are coming. But, like, just look at those 4 right there.
Yeah. It's huge.
I mean, that's a big fall lineup for an Xbox player. Or for a Game Pass user.
You've kind of had a new release, a re-release of the entire Fallout series.
Oh, and
here in the spring.
Yeah. Oh, and there are rumors saying that we at this direct maybe they'll show off a Fallout 3 remastered, and the only reason that's a rumor is because of the FTC filings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I also saw Todd
because
Howard was asked about New Vegas and the New Vegas drama by the Kind of Funny Games interview that he did this week, and he said, I can't talk about the direction we're going with you know, the future of Fallout in any capacity there.
Well, we talked about this a little bit before.
New Vegas, is New Vegas coming? What is happening?
Well, I think if you did,
would make a lot of sense.
I think if you did it as like a combo, like a Fallout 3 / New Vegas, because they're both on the same. They're both the same engine game, right? You know. But
yeah, if you can give me Fallout 4 graphics in those games, I play those games.
Man, Fallout 4 graphics aren't even that great. Imagine if they could do better than that.
They're decent.
Yeah. Imagine if they had a good engine. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, some idiot on Twitter the other day was like, "Halo is dead at this point."
I don't think it's
just
dead.
Scrap it. I'm like, it's not dead. What do you? Hey, moron!
No, that's foolish.
Not dead.
No, they don't need to scrap it. It's not dead.
Hyperbolic.
It's laying down right now. I'll give them that, but it's not dead.
They need more content. That's what he said.
It's Fat Thor right now.
Yeah, he's there.
Well,
he needs, you know.
Via Forge.
Just
Are you
pisses
guys
everyone
gonna?
off.
Are you guys gonna jump in and play the Helldivers add-on? That's being made from Forge?
when the Forge makes it.
Yeah, they're making it.
Yeah, I know they're
Yeah.
making it, but yeah, when it comes
Well,
out.
here's the deal with that, and that's exciting. That's fun, whatever. But what makes Helldivers great is the carrot on the stick that they have in front of you for spreading democracy.
Yeah.
And that won't exist in any form on any Forge or
'Cause you
arcade or
can't-
on anything.
In Forge, there is no
Progression.
If in Forge
Real
you allow
progression.
developers to sell stuff, items in a store somehow, or like then you implement that kind of functionality, you could get there. But
Yeah, it would be fun, especially with a bunch of friends and stuff. But that's what Helldivers does well is the spread of democracy is they give you an extra 10 minutes at lunch.
Yeah.
That's what one of the rewards, David, that they announced, which is really funny. It was like last week. We fulfilled our goals, and they're like, everyone take an extra 10 minutes at lunch, Helldivers. It's like, thank you. Go spread democracy.
They create a culture. They've created a distinct culture there, and it's fun.
It's awesome.
No, it is. Yeah.
That's
But
cool.
see, and that's what I think that would be missing in Forge. Although it'd be great, that game is probably going to make you want to go play Helldivers.
Yeah.
Instead of staying into that realm and playing that. But yeah.
I'm excited to see, first of all, Xbox start to talk about Activision Blizzard games more at their Xbox showcase here. Where do we go? What do we see from here? Do we get any news on any sort of next generation console? I don't think so yet. I don't think that it's time for that. It's going to be games and all games, and it's going to be exciting to see what we get.
Well, and I'm like assuming here, I hope, but I think this Call of Duty, another reason why I believe it'll be bigger this year is this has got to be the first Call of Duty that launches on Game Pass, right? I mean, you're fully acquired. It is now Microsoft's. I don't think there's any reason that I know of.
And the Earth, it will be the shot around the world.
I don't think there's any reason that this Call of Duty is not day one on Game Pass. Of course, they're going to have their
5 days early.
They're 5 days early for an extra couple bucks, which I know a lot of people are get upset with that. I think out of all the microtransactions in the world, that's like the least egregious.
Yeah.
But day one on Game Pass, like for me, this year, I don't think I'm gonna like buy it early or anything. I mean, maybe if they just if it's like when Modern Warfare was re-released. You remember not the first Modern Warfare, but like when they redid Modern Warfare, and it was like everybody just got pumped and excited. Maybe if it's something like that, but I don't know. Day one Game Pass. This has got to be day one Game Pass, and that I think when that day comes, that's when people are going to see the power of Game Pass.
I do want to shout out Pew Pew Padawan, excuse me, who's MMA Oracle. He says, thanks for the awesome XoneBros hat, brothers. He got it. You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right.
Friend. Thank you for all of your support there. Let's go to Mr. Cooper. R56 Cooper in chat asks, maybe we'll get, I wonder if we'll get a new Forza Horizon announcement. Too early. It's about time for one. Here's the thing. I don't know that we get into a regular cadence of old Xbox. And by old Xbox, I mean the pre-Bethesda, pre-Activision Blizzard announcement. I think now releases are always strategic. I'm not sure that it's the right moment for Forza Horizon.
Well, I think there's probably one like being talked about or in early development, but I think Turn 10, like I think their focus right now should be on Fable. Because Turn 10 is who makes Forza Horizon.
No, Playground.
Oh, sorry, Playground. Turn 10 owns Forza, and Playground is the one who makes Horizon. But Playground is on Fable. I think should be focused on Fable. And I think that's why I think we'll get a little tease of Fable.
Maybe we'll get a hybrid Forza Fable game.
Forzable.
Fable Horizon.
Fable Horizon.
Chicken Chaser is going to be a great achievement on that one.
Yeah, no, maybe I think it. I would love to see one. It would be super cool, but I'm not sure if it's the right time.
I think you're at a point where Forza Horizon. What's the latest one? Is it 4 or 5? 5. Forza Horizon 5, which is Mexico. Yeah, I think that's in a good spot, right? I mean, I think that people can still play. You don't need to. It's like Call of Duty, right? You don't need to oversaturate the market every year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think Forza, the new Forza, which is just Forza Motorsport, is also doing very well right now and in a good spot. I think I think Playground focus on Fable, and then maybe next year or the year after we get a new Forza game.
Yeah, I agree with that. Spicy, any final thoughts on this showcase, June 10th? June 9th, rather, Sunday, June 9th. It's right before you leave. You're going on vacation right after that, so you're going to be able to watch it.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of when you go on vacation, you got to work harder.
Yeah, that's true.
Before you can.
That's true.
I actually Gears. If they do something with Gears, you know, it'd be interesting. This is probably not going to happen. But what if? You remember how a couple E3s ago, or was it the last E3, like the real E3, Cyberpunk was on stage in the Microsoft Theater?
Yeah.
What if Now, just hear me out. And there really wasn't a relationship with Xbox and CD Projekt Red. I mean, there is because they're developers, but there really wasn't.
That was the same. That was
I think there was a good because Witcher came to Xbox first on console, so I think there was.
Okay.
But if you remember,
there was at least a business.
That was the year we got Gears Pops.
Well, that's funny because when you said get excited for Gears, we got super excited,
and then
it was like a big
deflation.
Well, there was Gears Tactics. We've had that, but we don't want a
what I'm
tactics
saying
game out
is,
of Gears.
What if we got some Rockstar stuff? What if that?
Oh,
what if we got some? Grand Theft Auto involved.
Yeah,
and
you
just
could.
just to do a big hype thing.
Do you think Rockstar would do that?
I don't think so.
I think they're very on their own.
But that's how. Remember how surprised we were when we're in the theater and it just goes and it the stage got hacked and then Keanu Reeves came out. Yeah. That was totally a surprise.
Who would come out? Trevor?
You know what? He could. Yeah, he was on Better Call Saul. And he was awesome on Better Call Saul. That actor is amazing. No, you could I don't know. This is just wishful thinking. That would be cool. That would be fun. That would get a lot of hype going. But yeah, I don't know if Rockstar would do that. But at the same time,
well, the thing is, does Xbox, because it's kind of a different. Because before you were competing for press, you're going to head with PlayStation, with Nintendo. Sometimes, some years at E3, and so it was who was on the stage. Oh my goodness, they had this on their stage. Their conference was amazing. You don't really need that anymore. You don't need the third party big hitter developers unless you're announcing something like Grand Theft Auto's on Game Pass, everyone.
Yeah.
Then, whoa, watch out.
Oh, yeah, I want to see where Gears goes.
Yeah.
I want to see where the
story
keeps
if Gears
going.
is, that would be cool.
Or, yeah, I even see in chat they're talking about a Marcus Phoenix collection.
Yeah, people have been asking about that for a while.
What we did with Halo Infinite, or not Halo Infinite,
That's Dark Knight, yeah,
Master Chief Collection, yeah.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, that's not, because if you think about it right now, like if you have an Xbox Series X, you can play every single Halo game on that console. Halo Wars, Halo 1 through 6, 1 through Infinite, which is 6. All those games are available to you on one console.
Yeah.
Technically, so is, Gears of War through backwards compatibility, but...
Yeah. Let's talk about Starfield. Because a huge Starfield update is coming. This is before Shattered Spaces. We actually haven't learned...
May 15th.
We actually haven't learned a lot about Shattered Spaces yet. Not a lot unveiled there, where we're going or anything like that. But we've got some updates here for Starfield. A lot of big quality of life updates that I really like. Before we start, can I give my pet peeve here?
Sure.
Why don't you just go?
You rolled your eyes, Jordan.
Well, because I didn't roll my eyes. I just.
What is my pet peeve going to be?
I don't know. It's probably going to be something I disagree with, though.
Okay.
Because you and I usually butt heads here on Starfield. So
here's my pet peeve.
Go ahead.
I think that they did a good job on their presentation, and maybe I notice it because I am doing this at a very minor league level compared to Bethesda. But I hate and I think everybody, this is not a personal attack on anyone, it's just the format. I think that the format comes off as cringe because it's inauthentic. You have the director of community. Hey, Joe. What do you have for us today?
Let me tell you about it, David. We've been working really hard these last couple months.
Exactly. What about, do you have anything else that you want to share before we go?
Well, yeah, it's crazy that you caught me here in the hallway. Let me tell you about it.
Yeah. Like, that's so disingenuous. We know, like, we as a viewing audience are more articulate at how things are done behind the scenes.
Although, can I point something out? Check this out. The one I noticed during this. Can you pause it, Mark? That is a nice. Go back. Yeah, go back. Sorry. For those of you watching, that is a nice watch.
Ah, yeah.
Do you see that?
You're paying attention to people's watches now.
I want to become a watch collector.
People that are into it are way into it.
Yeah.
There's actually it's investment.
No,
really
I know.
is.
But I was looking at that guy and I'm like, man, that's what I noticed during this direct is how nice
he kills it. I just think that style of present. What would be better is, and you could still have the canned questions, but don't act like you don't know. You're the director of community. You know, you're setting this up. Just say, hey, Mark, One of the biggest complaints from our players, or biggest asks, was maps. We've got some stuff to share. Why don't you explain to the players what's coming with maps? Like, see how you switch that and it's like authentic?
I think it's just personal preference. So I think you just dislike this format. Other people don't.
No, they do.
Everyone does.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I've polled.
You can't just.
I've polled, and everyone hates it.
Yeah,
it's
true.
Disingenuous.
I mean, it's just a style of sharing.
I think it's an
information.
old style.
It's a style
That's
that no
fair.
longer works
That's
because
fair.
we all know how it works.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can just blanket say the
The Wizard of Oz is no longer the Wizard of Oz because you've seen the guy behind the curtain. We've all seen the guy behind the curtain.
Spoiler alert! Gosh, you just spoiled 100-year-old movie for me.
Yeah, and so. Not that I think they all did, I'm not this.
Yeah,
is
it
not
was fine. We got the information we needed.
The format,
but
I just hate. So, Bill, this was the part. So, anything else you want to share with us, John?
like, check this out. Check this out. Oh, dang it!
You keep.
Yeah. Why is he holding that cup?
Because they told him to.
Yeah, he's not even drinking out of that cup. You know what I mean?
I know, but you can do this format better. Maybe you just don't like this way that they've done this.
Also,
format.
I just don't.
Who's drinking that other cup? That's not naturally there.
What the format I don't like is the inauthentic format. Don't ask questions as if you don't know. We know you know. You know we know you know.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so insulting. It's so aggravating. It's so grinding.
I don't think there's a problem. I think it could be more exciting. I think it could be done better. I think you could do it in different formats. But I'm still getting the information in 5
that's
minutes.
fine. I like getting the information.
I do like that it was just right
It's
to the point.
5
Yeah.
minutes long.
But just be real. Hey, I know we've got some exciting stuff. Here's John. He's going to tell you guys about maps. John, what? Players have been complaining about maps. What have we done for maps? Oh, well, let me tell you, Susie, we saw the hate from maps.
But here's the deal, David, too. A lot of developers aren't, these guys are actually more charismatic than most developers that you'd run across, I would say.
I know you have to go through the PR training test.
What I'm saying is I interview a lot of people in my job, and a lot of the time they get the person like spearheading something, or they get the person in charge or whatever. And once that camera goes on, they stutter, they don't know what to say, they forget lines, they do all that, they just panic under cameras. A lot of people aren't charismatic, and this format helps people's nerves. Like, let's say the guy with the cool watch, it helps him talk to her the way that they're talking so they can get their message across.
Yeah,
but they cut to gameplay anyway.
I know, but what I'm saying is this is a very easy format for people that aren't actors.
yeah.
If that's what do you get what I'm trying to say?
All I'm saying is, I get that that's the format, but your director of community should not be pretending to not know anything.
I get that.
And just be genuine. Like, I just want, you can say the exact same lines you've said, but just don't, it just grates on me for whatever reason. And I know it's something stupid to not, is the grand scheme of things, is that big of a deal? No, it's not that big of a deal.
But see, in a lot of cases, the team that's putting all this work into this game, they want, like, these guys right here, they're proud of what they're doing, and so
absolutely.
a lot of the people are going, okay, let's get them to talk about.
Yeah, they should talk about it.
Yeah,
I agree.
But a lot of the time, it's hard. It's hard to go to be those people and go on and say what they're saying in all formats, let alone this one. This one is an easy format to display. And yes, I get that you're annoyed, and I totally agree. It could be they could get somebody who's, whatever.
No, it's not the people. It's just the presentation.
The format, yeah, the presentation.
The presentation of pretending.
The people were fine.
Pretending that the three of you don't work together every day and haven't discussed this beforehand
I'm
bothers me.
As someone who makes videos like this, and more cool videos and less cool videos depending on what the client wants, this format is actually a decent format for their side of things. It's not all about you, David.
It is. If you tailored your presentation to me, you'd knock it out of the park. So let's go over the big things. Miami Magpie, thank you for the super chat. Just dropped one. Says the lack of maps killed the game for me at launch. Been waiting for this update. Can't wait to get back into Starfield. I agree with this.
Yeah, surface
and
maps.
I love Starfield. I think Starfield is really well done. I'm excited to jump back in. But let's rewind. Can we rewind to the maps? Because we didn't just get maps. We got a complete overhaul of city maps, surface maps, the whole shot, city points of interest on your guide right there. You can see if you go back further. I think it shows the 3D.
Yeah, when you
ones,
pull
but
up your.
you can actually see. So there you go. There's an example of a city map now. Before it just didn't exist. Like
It's not just a city map. It's like a whole surface map. So
Yeah.
if you and I think they'll zoom out and you can see other little locations.
Yeah,
as well.
on planets now you got surface maps because before this it was like static.
That's
that you're
Aquila
looking
City
at.
for those who.
Yeah, nicely done. Nicely
Shut
done.
up.
Nicely.
Did you like how I knew it without the map?
It's because of the big thing in the middle.
Yeah,
Wait,
well,
that's not
it's good.
Aquila City.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No,
Well,
that's-
for one, it says it right there on the thing.
That is Aquila
But,
City. That is Aquila City.
But that is Aquila.
Can I?
Why does it look like it's destroyed? Because isn't there a bridge that goes across that? Where's the bridge?
They didn't have enough time to
Yeah,
render
they
that.
forgot to put it in the bridge.
It's a tunnel, actually.
They
that you
can't.
kinda-
People
it's like
can't
a-
see. It's cut off. So, but it says Aquila right there.
Yeah, you got
They
me.
can't see it, but we can
got
see
me.
it.
For one thing,
But if you
it
go
says
back,
it on
go
the
back,
map.
go back to the main city. That map is beautiful. I forget there's a surface map right there. An example. That's in your. That's the
Yeah,
point.
I
I
knew
don't
it
know
was
where you're
now.
wanting me to
Just
go.
hit play. They'll show it here. This is New Atlantis.
No, if you go back, you had
No, they'll show it.
No, no.
Oh, maybe they won't. I don't know.
we skipped it.
Oh,
I'm gonna go back to
Okay,
the
we'll just
watch.
watch it.
Yeah.
We'll
she'll
pull up
come
his
up.
It is
watch
a nice
again.
watch.
It's a nice watch.
It
yeah.
is.
Right there. Boom. So that is, look at that. Like now we get an idea of how the city is laid out, where you're going. This is beautiful. I
It makes
love
you wonder
this.
why they had a tram system to go 4 different places when it's all connected.
When you just had
well,
to,
can you get from the? I've never done this because of the loading.
I couldn't do it.
Can you get from the bottom to the top without loading?
No,
I don't.
I tried.
Yeah, you have to load to the top. You can get
No,
once
you
you're
could-
up top, you can go all the way
you can
around.
you can go from the top to the bottom. I've done
never-
that.
You've done that?
Yeah, you can jump off the freaking thing.
I don't believe it.
The
freaking
freaking
thing.
buildings. Yeah, you can.
I don't believe it.
I will
try it. I
I
have the
think I
game.
tried it and I couldn't get it to work, but I don't know. I can't remember.
But yeah, I kept taking the tram, and then one day I realized, oh, I just need to go there.
It's like right there.
Why am I taking the tram?
Why?
I just need to go down that path.
Here's the thing: why even have the tram exist? Because I think that's an immersion breaking system. If everything's connected like
The
that.
At least up top.
I
right?
get, I get like going from the basement to the, or like
the elevator.
Well,
Yeah.
so the elevator makes sense,
but like,
and then going
totally, like,
underground makes sense.
This game had so many loading.
Yeah, to the well.
Yeah, to the
It
well.
had so many loading screens. It hurt the experience for me
yeah.
with how many, and it was like by
And
design.
why couldn't they just make the tram go there?
But anyways,
You know?
okay, these maps, yes,
Instead of
much
loading
needed,
you.
very cool quality of life. Also, love the points of interest. If we hit play again here, we'll
Are
be
you
able
sure
to
you want
see-
me to press play this time?
Yes, positive.
Jordan, don't touch my keyboard.
If you'll be able to see when they go actually down into 3D mode in the game.
There's, like, the actual
surface
general
Now,
surface
this is-
map, yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. That opens up exploration now in ways that just didn't exist before for me. Having the points of interest on your map that you can pull up and look at, see where stuff is, also is a game changer in my opinion. And I think just much needed. I mean, that's a huge quality of life issue there. The other big quality of life issue or feature coming is 60 frames per second, Jordan. Tell me about 60 frames
Yeah,
per
well,
second.
so performance mode, and the way they're doing it is a little bit different, which I like. So, and this is what I think Microsoft needs to do with a little bit more of their games. They specifically came out and said, hey, look, right now we're focusing on the Xbox Series X. As an Xbox player, that makes you feel like, all right, it's my time.
Yeah.
You know. What they're doing is you can actually change it from quality mode, performance mode, but they have different frame rates. So you can do a 30 frame rate, a 40 frame rate, I believe, and then a 60 frame rate, and then I believe they said you can do an uncapped as well. And I think the reason they're giving you those options is because I think they're allowing the console players, at least the Xbox Series X players, to say like, okay, well, I can live with 40 frames, but I also want it to be a little bit prettier, or like I don't care how pretty it is, I'm shooting all the way up to 60. almost making it more like a PC where you can go into those settings and kind of
Fine-tune
customize what you want to do.
What's interesting,
which I actually think is really cool. I do think, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, Mark. 40 seems odd.
a lot of games
I mean,
have that 40.
10 more frames than 30 is good, but it does seem odd.
Well, it's.
I know
you
Europe is
usually
50,
you
right?
Usually,
Which-
call me crazy, but usually you want to sync up the hertz of whatever TV or monitor you're using. And in Europe, it's 2550, and in the US, it's 3060, 120. It goes in those increments. So having 40 is bizarre,
So,
especially for a console when a TV's not going to have 40 hertz.
Well, and my only theory behind the 40 frames is you can still keep the graphics a little bit higher and get a little bit extra frame rate, as opposed to just quality mode, performance mode.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
Doesn't that introduce screen tearing though? Like.
Maybe they just don't care.
So it's
Yeah, because
But it's
if you
'cause it's
turned
not a
on,
monitor,
because
right?
that's right. If you put it at 40 frames and you turned on, let's say like VSync, it would cut it to 30, right? Because it would sync up with 30.
trying to sync it.
So here's the
and
exact-
TVs don't come in 40 hertz.
Here's the exact quote to answer
Maybe
your
they-
question. You can now choose between 30, 40, 60 or an uncapped frame rate on VRR displays. If you do not have a VRR display, so variable refresh rate display, running 120 hertz, you will still be able to select 30 or 60. Screen tearing may occur at times when selecting 60 on a non-VRR display.
What is that for those listening?
But why the 40?
why? What's the benefit of 40?
I know
40
other
FPS?
games were doing 40 as well.
But I don't understand what's the point of that when it. Why?
I don't know.
I'm gonna try. Maybe
Maybe
I just
because-
don't know.
Well,
I'm just
my only
uneducated.
guess is so you can still have a little bit higher graphic fidelity, but also have a little bit more
Well,
than
see-
30 frames. But I don't get.
And I'm talking for like the console because I
Yeah.
understand PC and why you would do that. But on a console where most people play on a TV, I guess you could be on a monitor, but a monitor is still not gonna have that variable rate. So I don't.
Well, would the monitor? Well, the monitor would still see 40 frames, right?
Well,
Like you would still see. Oh, these I'm still benefiting
Okay.
from these 10 more frames.
dude, I could be wrong, and internet, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the frequency is because of the power that we have. Like it's in hertz, and the U.S. is on a specific, like a hertz spectrum, and Europe is on a different one, and that's why the TVs sync up and monitors sync up to that.
Those hertz.
I could be crazy, but tell me, there
But
are
I
a lot
think
of smarter
that's
people
why
out there
it's-
than me.
I'm reading like these. Granted, these are forums on 40 frames per second. Starfield really could use 40 FPS mode on console because as long as you have a variable refresh rate, 120 hertz. TV
Because
Yeah,
the-
see that,
would
but
work.
you'd have a monitor, I guess.
because the variable refresh rate would allow you to see the 40.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and that's
Whereas
what
opposed to just going 40 to 60.
But that's exactly what they're saying in their thing.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can now choose 30, 40, 60 uncapped on VRR displays.
well, end of the day,
My
we get a
TV's
performance mode
my
and
TV's a VRR 120.
yeah, we get you can
so
do
cool.
uncapped. At the end of the day, we can do a performance mode or a quality mode, which I think should have been there from the beginning. I think all games going forward, especially on the Series X, Xbox as the publisher should push for these features.
Well, we're finally
Because-
starting to get
yeah.
that next level of frame rate on all these games.
Look,
Here's what's interesting. Notice they only say Series X. So is Xbox allowing finally a differentiation between Series S and
I don't
Series
see
X?
why
Is it not
they.
coming to the
Yeah,
Series S?
I think they should.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're realizing. If you
I
the
think
best should be the best on the best hardware.
yeah.
That's it. It doesn't need to be the same on all of it.
Now, another feature before we move on that I think went under the radar, which I think is a fantastic quality of life feature, is when you talk to an NPC, you don't get pulled into the
Yeah.
dialogue anymore.
You get to choose
what
your camera.
happen- Yeah, you can choose your camera style. So you can either, as it is now, get pulled into the dialogue where it zooms in on your face. And I think people were calling it Starfield for a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
That's a
zooms in
funny
on,
title.
It zooms in on your face, and you do the thing. Now you can
You just stay out.
you
as your
stay out. You
character.
stay out as your character, whether
Which
you're in
honestly
third or
helps
first.
with the immersion. And
I
it
do
just,
too,
It's
yeah.
one of those things. That option I like. Let
And
me
I feel
decide
like
that
it's
option.
not as tedious. It goes quicker. Like, okay, I just need to go to you, sell, done, and walk away.
Yeah,
You don't need to go
that's
into this
true.
in and out. I actually think that, for me, besides the 60 frames, is probably my favorite feature of this update that we're getting. Oh, and another thing, sorry, also quality of life. They added tabs at the top of your menu now.
Yes.
So it's much more easy to distinguish. Like if you're selling something, you can see at the top, on the top tab, you can now see your inventory, ship inventory, seller inventory. Like it's easier to go through. It's better laid out. It's a very good quality
Before we
of
go
life.
before we go over some of the other quality of life updates, you guys are listening to the XoneBros. This is your positive gaming Xbox community. If you haven't yet, you can come and help us out, support us by becoming a member over on YouTube, youtube.com/X1Bros. We've got behind the scenes shows. We've got the members lounge that is exclusive to our members every single week after the show. We're actually not doing one this week, but most weeks after the show. Also, if you haven't yet, rate, review, and subscribe to us right now over on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a 5-star review. That's the big boy. That's the one that counts. Go leave us a 5-star review. If you haven't yet, please go do that. It really helps us out. And again, appreciate all of your support. The other thing is customized gameplay is a... Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Spicy.
this is back to the VRR stuff. So the variable refresh rate. There are TVs that have that, but apparently all of them
Yeah, like
suck.
mine. Mine has it.
Those a trade off.
Yeah. Well, apparently there's like problems with it.
Mine has it.
Did you
Yeah, but
use it?
yours is incredibly expensive high-end
But
TV.
I guess we'll be able to. Okay, when
We'll go
this
40, yeah.
update comes out, try the variable frame rate at 40 and see how it
we'll
works.
roll.
But a lot of people are saying they have issues with a lot of different brands and stuff. But I did not know that
LG,
VRR
baby.
was available on TVs. I
LG,
did not
baby.
know that. So okay,
I actually didn't know that either.
I did.
The more you know.
I did. It's on mine.
I'm old. Technology scares me.
Another thing, you can also customize your gameplay, so you can set the difficulty for gun battles. You can set the difficulty for space battles. You can say, I want space battles to be really hard. I want gun battles to be not so hard. It determines your experience. It determines the credits that you get for missions and stuff like that. But you can completely customize it, bottom to top, your gameplay.
I actually think this is a really cool way to do difficult. So, there's no achievements attached to difficulty in Starfield, which I think is, in this case, works out. How they do it is you get a plus and minus modifier for the experience. I think that is actually a really smart way of doing it. So, for example, I think there's different things you can do with inventory or difficulty or whatever. If there's different changes I want to make to, let's say, the inventory, it says, okay, you can make these changes, but you get minus 4%.
Yeah. So you can make changes to...
And it's like, well, okay, I'm okay taking a 4% for a convenience factor.
But then you can make a change somewhere else that you don't mind and negate that.
Yeah, so I actually think it's a really cool way to do a difficulty scale.
Yeah, so for instance, they'll eventually show it here on the screen, and we should pause it there, but they show the gameplay options menu, and I have it pulled up here, and what it is, for instance, enemy combat damage is on easy. You don't get any hit for that. Then they go to player combat damage. They have on very hard, which gives them a plus 4% XP. Enemy ship damage they have on hard. That gives them a plus 2% XP. Carry capacity greatly increased gives them a minus 8.
Yeah,
so
see, that's the one where I'm like, I might take that minus 8.
Yeah, so here's another one. Cargo access distance, they switch to anywhere.
Yeah, also
going to
take that.
6. I'm taking both of those. That's why they increased their player combat damage and any shit damage there. Like there it is right there. This is it. And they'll go through it and you'll see they go through and you get plus. It's genius. I love it.
This is how Forza does it.
Yeah, that's actually exactly how they do it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take the hit and just do more carry weight.
Dude, the cargo access distance from anywhere, that's giant.
Not to mention,
are you kidding me?
None of this matters if you know how to level up through the base building anyway, so that's what I do.
Super cool. I think that's a great
cool way
great
to do
quality of life feature there. The other one is now I have a reason to do New Game Plus.
Oh, yeah.
Finally, I can respec my character. I can choose a different freaking trait. They locked you in, and I'm like, oh, I picked the wrong trait. I was a freaking, I was a cargo guy.
Buyer's remorse.
Yeah, I was a cargo guy. It didn't benefit me at all. I wanted that. I want that player housing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go new play. I'm gonna go new Game Plus and get that player housing.
Well, speaking of player housing, another big part of this update is I didn't do much with the base building. I did the base building to do the level exploit because it's in like every Bethesda game ever.
Base building's fun though.
Well, yeah, especially when you level up really fast by doing the exploit. So, so I think I did a ton of base building in Fallout 4. also for the exploit, but generally because I actually really enjoyed it in Fallout 4 too. And I'm not saying that I don't enjoy it in Starfield. It didn't appeal to me as much as it did in Fallout.
Yeah.
Now, what does appeal to me is now you can decorate the interior of your starship. Where this is really cool is you can already customize and build your own starship. So now you can build your starship how you want it with your habitats, your sections, your whatever. And now you can go in and decorate it yourself. You can have bedrooms. You can have apparently an old DOS computer. You put it on the
floppy disk.
Yeah, put it on the in someone's room. And the reason I like this is because when I played this game,
your ship,
whether it was good or bad, I spent a lot of time in my ship.
Your ship should be your player housing. I mean, it's nice to have a planet to call home. And honestly, your player housing, your base building ended up being your player housing anyways. So, but they did make that optional this time around rather than like Fallout 4 where it was mandatory.
See, now I can live out my like Firefly role playing.
Yeah.
Because I can build the ship.
Yeah, like here we go.
I can decorate people's rooms. The companions will be there with me. Yeah.
And being able to put stuff around like that's cool. This is cool. This is really cool. Yeah, now we're talking. Barbara Blake can put all of his
teddy bears on his ship.
Teddy bears on his ship. Everywhere.
So, but I think that feature in combination with the actual ship building, I think is probably one of the coolest newer features they've added to the game.
Real quick, Spider Luke in chat says 40 frames per second seems to be the compromise for games on Steam Deck. I want to shout out Spider Luke too. Good to see you, brother. Long time no see. The Ghastly Gamer says my LG has VR. Hey, so does my LG. The key is LG. LG.
LG does make some pretty phenomenal TVs.
To the G.
Man.
Yeah.
They are.
I mean,
at Best Buy, they win. When I go walking down that aisle, the LGs win.
So this is coming May 15th. I think this is big for Starfield. I'm very excited. I think there's a good reason to jump back in here on Starfield. Also, they did drop their first beta creator packs to people. I can't remember what they called them, but it's basically for
creation
mods.
club
creation
stuff?
clubs, yeah. In beta mode to modders, so we're going to start seeing some mods coming for this game, which will, this game will be timeless as a result of that.
Two other quick things. They showed very little. You could see like a concept art of someone working on a computer of shattered space, which looks kind of cool. But they also said that they are working on, and they did show some vehicles.
Vehicles, yeah, they did.
Land vehicles.
And it's on the
not coming in this update, but coming later.
Show it. The land vehicle, it looked legit too. It wasn't like a cop out at all. It looked like you were driving a friggin' dune buggy.
If they can do the same system of shipbuilding in a land vehicle, that would be pretty.
That
cool.
would be cool. You can have like a giant caterpillar going around,
or like a warthog.
That would be.
But
cool.
it wouldn't look like a caterpillar, right, David?
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't.
A very flaccid caterpillar.
Flaccid. Flaccid's a great word. That should be called. That should be the name of the video game. Flaccid. And then we get Flaccid.
Flaccid
2.
Returns.
Flaccid 2. Flaccid Ultimate.
Flaccid X.
Hey Tim, what are you working on today?
You're making fun of the style again.
Well, let me tell you, Jill.
Give him. Yeah.
I have no problem with the people.
No,
right there it is. Yeah. Look at that. That's legit, baby. Yeah, it looks like there's a gunner on the back of that. You bring multiplayer.
Hold on. What all programs does he have open? He's got OBS open to record that.
Oh yeah, down at the bottom. Does he have OBS open?
Yeah, he's got OBS open. Try and see what he's working on.
He has
awesome.
Is that Word? Does he have Word open? He's using Chrome.
Solitaire up.
They clearly have.
He's got Solitaire.
Minesweeper.
Looks like
that guy's a gamer.
Looks like he's playing a game.
He's alt tab.
This
Duke
actually,
Nukem.
this actually isn't. This actually is Horizon that he's playing. That's Mexico.
Yeah,
the Mexico
dudes. You see him look back and go, "Oh, alt tab to an Excel spreadsheet."
He just got caught playing it.
That's funny.
Anyway, Starfield. Very much looking forward to that. That should be good. Spicy, you think you'll jump back into this game? Spicy, have you watched Fallout?
No.
You son of a bitch.
I know.
When you gotta watch that.
I don't watch shows anymore, man.
You gotta watch that sometime.
I just don't watch shows.
Sea of Thieves dropped on PlayStation 4 and is scored an 88, everyone, as of right now, from critics. That's from critics. By the way, that's one of the top games on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Top critic reviews. Remember when they said that Xbox doesn't have good games? Oh, wait, they did. They just weren't on PlayStation. That's what it was. And Jordan did bring up a relevant point. When you look at Metacritic, the scores, you can click View All Platforms. Here's the scores. PS5, 88 currently. On the Xbox One, Sea of Thieves has a 69. On the PC, it has a 67. That's very misleading because those reviews.
Where do I go here? Like, so I'm on the page. Where am I going here?
So
Right
right
good,
there,
yeah.
all platforms shows it. So that's very deceptive. And then you can see overall critics reviews and mixed reviews and user reviews. This game, when it first dropped, is way different than it is now, number one. Number two, it really wasn't that. It was not a 69 game when it dropped.
To be fair, if you're going to get a score that's not the best,
69 is the one that
is one that you should achieve.
Maybe
true.
they said, hey, just keep
You
it
know
there.
what? Just lock that one
That
in.
is true. But they need to. It shows that reviews, number one, are not perfect. They've never been perfect. But technology is outpacing our review systems even. Because live service games, like a Sea of Thieves, this game needs to be reviewed every year. A new review batch should go out or something to prevent stuff like this from happening. So, for instance, Destiny would be in a similar situation. And then Destiny, depending on the I'm just using Destiny as the example, but depending on the updates, will depend, does that score go up this year, down this year? What Fortnite would be in a similar place? Warzone would be in a similar place like that. In other words, the 69 score on the Xbox One is not accurate at all. In fact, it's wildly inaccurate. In fact, that's for a review that no longer, that's for a game, that's a review of a game that no longer exists.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Well, the reason I find it just troubling is just because the game should be reviewed as it is, especially if you put a new review on there. So that 69 and 67 for the PC was when the game first launched, which, like you said, is vastly different. Well, it's incredibly different from then to now.
Yeah.
So when you come and look at this as like Joe Blow, a new guy, and you're like, oh man, it must suck on the Xbox One and the PC. I better buy it for the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
That's actually wrong because the PlayStation 5 is actually a port from the Xbox One and PC. They're all, if the PlayStation 5 gets an 88, they're all an 88. Now, you're going to say, well, Jordan, what about performance? I mean, sometimes games perform better on one console than they do the other. Yes, that's fair, and you can distinguish that in your review, but in this case, it's not.
Well,
In this case, it does perform better on the PS5.
Well, according to the earlier review, we haven't seen any of the Xbox stuff since the new update dropped, so we'll see if they fix a lot of those.
Oh, my goodness. I do have to shout out Jank the Tank. He says, I'm late, but finally made it to a live show in over a year. Jank the Tank, welcome. Thank you for being here. I also want to shout out It's Mint, Soulfinder. I don't think we've shouted out yet. We did shout out Cooper. Cooper's in the house.
to be fair, also, all review, like how it's done, is based not on a live service game model. It's based
early copy,
So,
not full live servers.
Basically, what needs to happen is they just need to have a yearly update to
Yeah.
reviews.
It does.
On live service
On live
games.
service. If you're connected to the internet, you should get a yearly review.
Yeah.
Well, I just, looking at when we looked at this before the show, I'm glad it got an 88 on PlayStation. I think the game is in a really good spot right now, and I'm glad it's doing well. But looking at this just made me see, like, well, wait a minute, this is the problem with reviews. Because you're comparing a review from 7 years ago to a review yesterday.
Well, also, this has been weaponized against Xbox. Look at all these low-scoring games Xbox exclusives has. Well, that game's just scored an almost 90 on the PlayStation.
And this is what I'm
because
saying.
that game is a 90.
And that game was ported from an Xbox.
Yeah, like that's...
Or
that's,
PC Xbox.
And so that's that. Anyways. Also, that's a little bit... Xbox should lean on these sites, on stuff like this. Like, hey, guys, you need to step this up. Granted, Metacritic is like... they take all the reviews and put them together. But it's kind of broken.
But what's the
it's broken in
what's
this respect.
what's the
it's not
overall?
really broken because every YouTuber does how is Sea of Thieves in 2024?
Well, see, and that's why
Because
I think...
it gets views. Because everybody wants to know. I don't want to know what is Sea of Thieves in 2018 when this game launched. I want to know how is Sea of Thieves in 2024?
Well, and that's where I think YouTube reviewers and... I think that's where I think YouTube reviewers are better because they can do stuff like that. Whereas Metacritic is... I think...
Don't you dare read chat. Don't you dare.
I think
I'm ready to.
No, you're
I'm getting ready to read that one out loud.
no.
This one's just for Jordan.
Oh,
well, I think
gosh, I'm gonna leave the room.
Metacritic is on an old.
We saw it at the same time.
Yeah, they're on an old system.
yeah.
They're on an old It's not games aren't reviewed like that anymore. For example, like look at World of Warcraft, right? I mean, it changes every expansion.
But even user reviews, okay, you should now clear it out. That user review score and that critics metascore now should be cleared out.
Again, I don't know why. And this like the perfect model is there. Why not just take it? The way Steam does their reviews is the best way to do reviews.
You got to show how many hours
You got to show. Well, but all that they show you like, hey, this game is mixed. These reviews are within the last so many days, and those refresh themselves as more reviews come in or as time goes by. Like it's someone sat down and they said, hey, I got the idea for a perfect review system. Hold my beer, and the entire world's like, now we're going to use our old one. Yeah. Look to Steam. Look to Gabe.
Starfield, by the way. Starfield,
LTB. Or LTG. I mean.
Starfield, by the way, is an 83, which is a really good score, actually. After all of the polarization, there was a question. I can't remember where I saw it, and they were like, why the polarization? And someone posted on Twitter, this game was polarizing. Oh, because it wasn't. This was someone. I think it was like.
Are you just trying to make something up right now? I don't know.
He's typing in ChatGPT to come up with his own opinion right
I'm
now.
going to Twitter. I think it was like
stalling.
No, I think it was a VentureBeat writer who had said the reason that Starfield was so polarizing is because it wasn't Fallout. And I think that's entirely like people wanted a Fallout 4. No, I disagree.
Fallout. Or they wanted Elder Scrolls, or
they wanted a Fallout game. I just completely disagree with that. The reason that it was there we go. This was it. PC Gamer wrote this. Todd Howard reckons he knows why Starfield was divisive. It was too different than what you've seen in the past. I think that's incorrect. It's polarizing because it was the first Bethesda game to not drop on PlayStation. That's why it was polarizing. That's it. Because a review of a game is not inherently polarizing. That game would not have been polarizing had it dropped on PlayStation 5. I think that 83 that Starfield gets a 3-point bump if it drops on PlayStation.
To be fair, I don't like the loading screens.
Well, and
that's fine.
If I were to give a review of Starfield,
how many hours do you have in Starfield?
I don't know, 60, 70?
Yeah, something like
Same?
that. Yeah.
Okay, I would give it. There's going to be more.
Beaten it a couple times to get my stuff. You know,
Yeah.
my cool running fast suit.
That's like an 85 game. You may have problems. That's not to say you don't. It's not the perfect game.
I think it's a 75 to 80. And I think that's still a good score. Like out of 10, like people think if something, I think we do live in a world where if something is not a 9 or a 10, everybody automatically means it's a bad game, which is 100% not true. And I don't like that we're in that mindset, especially on the internet. No, it's not. A 7 out of 10 game is still a good game. A 10 is a masterpiece, right? Like not everything's a masterpiece.
The sweet spot is
okay. Let me give you an example.
Is in the 80s.
Pacific Rim is a good movie. Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece of a movie. Are they both still good movies?
First of all, I disagree with your premise. Pacific Rim is not a good movie.
Yeah, it is.
Well, okay. Once again, this is your opinion, David. I sometimes want to just watch popcorn and drool, and Pacific Rim does that for me.
Now, Pacific Rim 2, bad movie.
I just did what Starfield reviewers did. I actually have never seen Pacific Rim.
It's like it is a terrible movie that makes you feel happy about yourself.
It's like Expendables. That's what Expendables does to me.
If Expendables took place in the ocean with giant robots and giant dinosaurs, then yes.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's
the samurai guys are awesome.
First of all, in chat, Soulfinder says X1 is on fire today. Correct on everything he said. Thank you. Let's reread that again. Correct on everything he said. Thank you, Soulfinder.
Yeah,
I appreciate you, brother. Blake says I played over 100 hours and I'm not sure why. I know why, Blake. Because you liked it.
Yeah.
No, but I like Pacific Rim and I rewatch it, and I would give Pacific Rim a 6 or 7 out of 10 as a movie. I'd give Lord of the Rings a 10. They're both still good. That's my point. Just because a game isn't a 10 or a 9 doesn't mean it's a bad game. I think Starfield is a 7 or an 8 of a game in that range.
I think
as a Bethesda game. I think Fallout 4 is an 8 to a 9. I think Skyrim is a 10. All good games.
Yes, but we digressed. My original point was it wasn't polarizing because of the game itself. It was polarizing because it wasn't on PlayStation.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
There was an axe to grind, and that axe was grinded.
Yeah, hot take. There's a huge bias towards PlayStation
Yeah.
in gaming journalism.
On Starfield,
100%.
I'm going to beat a dead horse, and I apologize to everyone that's listening that is raging and saying, X1, shut up, although, according to chat, I'm right on today.
Shut up. Okay, Soulfinder, I love you, man. Never say that ever again. He's gonna screenshot that and frame that and put it up in his office.
Yeah. I think Blake said it too. That's what I'm reading between the lines. And I played for over 100 hours. What he's saying is, X1, you're right on. That's what he meant to say.
Oh man!
When on Steam reviews, someone has 1,000 hours played in the game, and they're like, "This game's a 2." Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
And so that's my only point.
I do know somebody that has played a game for like 1,000 hours that has hated a game. I do know somebody.
I like chat. Here we go again. It's all PlayStation's fault.
No, I'm just saying.
blame.
I don't think it's PlayStation's fault, and I think your average PlayStation fan is fine. But there are crazies out there who had an axe to grind, and that axe clearly got grind. And I just think Todd Howard did not give an honest answer. He gave the right answer. And the right answer is, I think it was divisive because it was too different than what you've seen from us in the past. I don't think that's correct. It was polarizing and divisive because it wasn't on PlayStation. That's it. People freaked.
The general audience didn't, I do think there is a slight media bias towards PlayStation. And if you don't believe me, you can just literally look on the internet. For example, Microsoft.
That's okay, I'm convinced now.
Yeah, well, no.
All I have to do is
well, no,
look
just
on the
like
internet.
we talked about, Microsoft, the entire world flipped on its head when these rumors came out that ended up not being true about Microsoft. And then what happened a week later? PlayStation said the same thing, and everybody was like, what do you do?
No, that's funny.
That's smart. And everyone said, "Oh, that's a smart."
Yeah, and it was like, what do you mean? It's literally what you were just pissed about last week.
Those Japanese developers, they're smart.
Yeah.
That was my conspiracy theory. I think they started the rumors. They know.
Let it hit, and then a week later, comment.
Because
Corporate
it was
warfare.
all, and Microsoft had to come out with their own hour presentation, which they would have been doing something else, and they're like, actually, no.
Actually, no, everything's wrong.
It's the same
Starfield
thing.
is not going here. This is that, blah, blah. It's all.
They had to, and then PlayStation. Oh yeah, we did it too.
Oh yeah, we're thinking about doing the same thing because it was about
all
exclusive games going to different platforms, right? They're like, oh yeah, we're thinking about doing the same thing too, and everybody was like, what do you do?
You know what? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Once you put it that way.
But oh no, Jordan, there's definitely not. The journalists are pure in heart.
That one is probably the most blatant one. You had people on Twitter. I'm gonna burn my Xbox. Oh my god.
And then when PlayStation does it, it's like,
what did you do? What was that look? Oh my gosh. Wow. Whoa.
Anyway,
David's gonna beat me up after school.
That was my hot take.
Man.
Well, another comment in chat here. X1 is still right on. Thank you. Thank you again.
From the same person.
Anyways, well, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. Oh, can I say I did get to try out this? Not try out. I dove in deep. Jordan, man, watch me play a little bit. And Jordan, we got to talk about the game that you played this week too. Eiyuden Chronicles, 100 Heroes. Can we pull up gameplay? Absolutely love this game.
I
This
don't
game.
even know what you just said. The Eunuch Chronicles?
Eiyuden Chronicles.
Now that is going to be a good game.
Yeah,
Eunuch
The Unit Chronicles.
Can you
Type
imagine
that.
the
Type
tutorial?
that.
starts out.
Man, the origin story's going to be nuts.
I grew up as a boy with balls. And one day I had them removed. This is my story.
Someone should make a game like that.
We should. We can. We could make a very simple game in 2023.
All right. Okay, that jokes are over.
Eiyuden Chronicles. Eiyuden.
EIY?
There you go, right there. 100 Heroes.
Why are we spelling stuff that way? Okay.
It's Japanese.
Well then okay.
It's a JRPG.
All right. Okay, I'm in.
It makes sense.
Okay,
It makes
I'm
sense
cool with
now.
it Oh man, this one right here, video.
You can do the review. It'll show gameplay.
Yeah, do the review. Who cares? Who cares? You can go to my channel. I have my own review. X1 the Gamer. If you want to go see my full
I
review.
don't want to. I don't want to. Good plug though, but I don't want to.
I enjoyed this game. I like the art style.
Oh yeah, I remember you.
It's beautiful. The story. The one thing for me is it starts out a little bit slow in the dialogue, and I was like, oh no.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go again.
Oh shit! Got to sit through this bullshit. Then I didn't though. Then 15 minutes in, it really picked up, and it was enjoyable. It's quirky. The JRPG mechanics, turn-based fighting mechanics, are really cool. You get your teammates can work together. You've got a front line, you've got a back line, you've got support, and based on where you place your characters, affects the battle. They can then, you have runes, which are like superpowers that everyone has that you can charge up, and you discover new heroes with new abilities. And as your heroes develop relationships together, you can do like superpower friend combos, and it's just cool. It's a good story. Very much enjoying it. Downloaded it on my gaming laptop as well, so that I could enjoy it. I was traveling this week, so that I could enjoy it then as well. Highly recommend trying it out if you've never. Yeah, get to the battle. They're just this.
I know.
What
Chat's
is this?
like it looks like a running simulator. Here, I'll skip ahead. There we go.
You should have done the review because the review would show everything. Now he's talking. Now we're gonna watch talking.
Okay.
It is voice acted. With
Yeah,
the
that is
exception
nice,
of
yeah.
some side characters, but it is here's some battling you can see. It's what I really like is you choose everyone's what they're gonna do first, and then they battle. You can see the turn order up top, and then the battle resolves itself all at once, and your team levels up as a result, and it's a lot of fun. If you've never tried a JRPG, you're unsure, or maybe you like this style, and you're like, oh, I'm thinking about getting in. It is on Game Pass. Highly recommend it. I think you'll enjoy it. I would give this game an 85. Jordan.
You would give every game an 85.
No, there's definitely some games I would not give an 85.
What game? You like Ben-Hur.
Well, for the achievements.
For the achievements, it's a great game.
Yeah. If you want to get an easy 1,000 gamer score.
Within like 20 minutes.
A game that
What is the worst game you've ever played?
The thing is, if a game doesn't hook me right away, I just stop playing it. So the worst game I've ever played.
Yeah. And what would you rate that game?
I know what the worst game I ever played is. Funny
is-
enough, it comes from Bethesda.
What is yours?
Hi, me
Brink.
too. Yeah, that was mine. Yes.
Oh, Brink.
Well, I guess Bethesda and was it Arcane? Both who are owned by Microsoft now. So
That's actually a great way to put it. CDR Tuvok. He says this looks like a fast Octopath. Yes, that's a great way to put it. Yeah, I very much enjoy it. I'll tell you a game I would not give an 85. Actually, well, no, I would.
I think your scale is just off.
No, my scale is
Like
not off.
you know those
my scale.
you know those cooking scales where you press the button to reset it? I think you need to reset that.
Here's
button.
a game that I would not give an 85. Vigor. That game is not an 85. I give that game a 62.
Yet. How many hours did you put into that game?
That's because
Okay.
it's like a stripper.
Oh, okay.
I was like a stripper. All right. I was playing in front of people because I was getting lots of views. And at times it was enjoyable.
yeah, but then they just did nothing.
When the
with
right, when the right clientele came along, it was enjoyable. But the game just went nowhere. No, that game is not bad. That game is probably a 70, 75, but it's not. It just doesn't.
I would put
it
that
just
game at
doesn't-
a 60.
It just doesn't progress.
60. I would put it
I
at
think
a
60 is probably because
Yeah,
it's.
it's like
it's-
accurate.
60.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with
But
playing
see,
a game
you
and
gave
being.
it a 75. You just said I give it a 75.
Yeah, I give it
See how your
75?
scale's just a little skewed? I think you need to press the reset button.
No. I don't need a reset button.
You said you
That's my
hated that
scale.
game. I give it a 75.
No, I didn't say I hated that game. I said a game that I wouldn't give an 85 to.
What is
I
Vigor
think-
doing now?
Soul Finder, is he right? Is
According
his
to
first-
Soul Finder, I am right.
The reason that I think the reason I give Vigor a lower score is because I think there's games out there that do its formula much better.
Yeah, Vigor is a free to play
Extraction
game.
shooter.
Extraction
And
shooter.
there is a free-to-play game going into beta next
thing is,
month
though, what
that I
happened
think will
is-
do a lot better.
What happened is, so I jumped out at like season 8, but for the first 6 seasons, every season they were adding something, and it was getting progressively better, and you could see where they were going, and then it just stopped, and like nothing happened. It was like, okay, I'm out. Nothing has changed in this game. I'm out.
Okay. Well, you're entitled to your opinion.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Jordan, though, Manor Lord.
I did. Yeah, I played.
Lord of the Manor. It calls to me. This is another one I downloaded on my gaming laptop, and I'm going to be jumping into this weekend, and I cannot wait.
Lord of the Manor?
No, Manor Lords.
Manor Lords is what it is, but
Lord
I
of
am
the
being
Manor.
called to be Lord of the Manor. Jordan has been Lord of the Manor all week.
Well, not all week, but for a few days.
Now.
I was. And
I love city builders.
Oh, yeah. This
I follow city builders.
You talked
I
about
follow
this last
strategy games, and everybody says that they think this game does it best. Jordan, has that been your experience or not yet for you? Where are you at with this game?
Well, the thing is with strategy games like this, like for example, I really like Age of Wonders 4, and I really like this game. I think they do things differently, but they do them both very well. So it's hard to say like this is the greatest 4A strategy game out there. I really like what this game does, and it gives me a more patient understanding of city builders in real life. So, but
It's opening your eyes.
yeah, it is. It's opening my eyes a little bit. No, I really like. I don't want to say simplicity, but it's not a very difficult game to understand and get what you're doing, and then progress into later objectives or eras or going from starting to building your military and stuff. It's very good and very well done. I like how they do a lot of things. I like how they let you like what you're seeing right now, how they let you kind of choose the plots of different areas of towns, how you build up your town, how your workers are. Your workers are basically families. So just because if you have one family, it doesn't mean you have one worker. There's multiple people in that family. I like how you can assign different workers or families to different jobs and traits, and you can upgrade. It's very, I know this is all very confusing if you've never played the game, or it probably doesn't make any sense, but it's very well done what they have given you. Now, this is an early access game on Xbox Game Pass, and then I think you can get it on Steam as well, but it's very promising. I really like what they do, especially when it comes to, there's just even little things like how you harvest food in the summer compared to how you do it in the winter. It's very cool. And it's not so overwhelming to where you're like, oh my gosh, I got to do things quickly. You can always hit pause too, which is nice, which I learned very quickly as well.
Defenestrator's question.
But,
as Lord of the Manor, can you declare prima nocta?
Maybe give feedback. Maybe you could do it later.
Maybe
That is a
DLC.
good question.
that's
DLC.
that's end game.
But no, I really like this game. I thought it was, when I first loaded it up, I thought it was going to be like, okay, just build your army and go conquer. But it's not. Like the army
It's a city builder first.
The army is one part of it.
Yeah.
And going to conquer other lands is one part of it, but it's one part in a grand circle of
Like
things.
a grand strategy.
Yeah. So
Have you
But
have
no,
you
why
as
I-
the Lord, have you gone down in 3D and toured your people?
yeah,
your
yeah,
peasants?
and sometimes they're like, man, this is a far walk, and that's when I get mad. I'm like, okay, well, we didn't know, okay? All right, we're gonna move it. I
gonna
understand.
demolish your little
All
hut here.
We did, and that's why I have a new appreciation for like city organizers, like in real life, because it's like, okay, all right, we didn't know that having the granary over there would suck later.
Yeah.
We just put it there, and then you got to move it.
I've got
And
a
then-
game.
yeah.
I've got a game I'd give a 52. Valhalla. I fucking hate that game. Oh, sorry, children. I freaking hate that game.
Okay, I will edit that out.
For beep. Is there a beep?
What
There's a beep
time?
on it. There's a beep on
Ah,
it.
just let it go. It
Let it go.
adds.
That
Yeah,
goes
it
raw.
adds. It adds
goes
to
raw.
the. It adds
There'll
to
be an
the.
explicit. Actually, I think we get 2 of them before we get it explicit.
Yeah.
It's like television.
Nah, don't just let it go. I mean,
Give me a quack.
gaming is
Can
about
can I request the quack over that?
gaming is
I'm
about
gonna
passion.
do a lightsaber.
Gaming is about passion.
Yeah, sorry, I just Valhalla turned me off. Valhalla was like 5 hours of.
We don't have to get into it.
What would you give Valhalla, Spicy?
I'd give it a 75. It sucked.
No, I give him I'm 50.
No, I'm just kidding.
50.
No, I thought Valhalla was okay. It just
I'd say it's a mid game.
Yeah, I'd say
with an outdated Ubisoft formula.
73.
I think
72?
I think your scale's off. It's too high. You got to bring that scale down.
Hey, Soulfinder's pissed at you now. Yeah.
sorry, Soulfinder. That wasn't me. That was Jordan.
Yeah.
That was Jordan.
Oh man.
I meant to say Fook.
There's your 2.
110. There we hit it.
FOOK. That's not a swear word.
It is if McGregor says it.
Actually, it's not. That's why he could say it.
That's why they don't bleep it
That's
out.
why I don't
during
bleep it out. Sorry, I apologize. I'll be better, everyone. I apologize.
I mean, we're a family show and not in this episode.
Are we really though?
Yeah, that's what I would.
We try to be. No, I don't think we even
gotten
try
older,
anymore.
I think as we've become more adult, we've become more adult.
Yeah, that's true. We did talk about like the eunuch
Lords,
Which would be
or
hilarious.
whatever it was. Yeah, which would be a funny
Yeah.
game.
Lord of the Eunuch.
Imagine character customization.
The origin story.
Yeah.
As a child, I had huge balls.
And those were taken from me.
It's a revenge story.
Against my will.
It's like a Batman revenge story.
I don't know who did it, but I'm gonna find them and make them pay.
Narrated by Will Wheaton.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a good game.
That is a good
I
game.
think that's it though, right? Are we
I think, but Manor Lords also on Game Pass. Game
Manor
Pass is
Lords,
just crushing it at the
very,
moment.
very good game. I like it a lot. I'll be honest, I did restart a few times because of certain city zoning decisions where I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start fresh. Because you can move things, but sometimes it's easier just to start
does
fresh.
it cost you money to move things?
Yeah, a
if
certain
you-
amount of resources. I mean, you can just because you kind of just pick that building up and move it, and then like the little people are
Lumber.
like deconstruct it.
Give the
and
tip
take it
about
out.
lumber.
Oh yeah, build that first.
Yeah.
Build your lumber.
Jordan learned real
lumber's
quick.
for you build
Jordan had to
wood
start over
first.
because he didn't have enough lumber.
Yeah, no, build wood first. And that's that's when I was going into it. Like, all right, let's get my army. Let's go take over. I was almost playing it like not like StarCraft, but like Age of Empires, where it's like, okay, I got to build this, and I got to get my, here's a farm, and we'll get army, and we'll go conquer. But it's really your army is literally one facet of the entire game.
Yeah,
like there's a lot to the game, and I really enjoy it. But I like I think it's because it doesn't overload you with menus. Like if you jump into Civilization, although a great game, is incredibly intimidating for the first time.
Even the game that you and I really like, Age of Wonders, is menu heavy as well.
Whereas this game, there's a menu on the bottom, which is basically like roads, building. You have like an army map and settings, and then you have basically a huge resource and / information bar at the top. And when you don't know what it is, you kind of you may be a little intimidated, but I think that's the simplicity behind it. It's not, or I don't want to say simplicity, but it's not overwhelming like a Civilization or a Age of Wonders 4 and stuff like that.
Yeah. I can't wait to jump into this game.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I think. Now, is it multiplayer? Can we attack each
I
other?
don't think so.
That would be cool if we could.
I don't know if it's.
funny about that?
No, when you said that, I thought of every like Civilization multiplayer game I've ever played with you, where we talk about being co-op,
Yeah.
and then ultimately all your stupid chariots
Well,
start
you gotta
lining my
read.
border.
You gotta read. You'll know my tactics if you just read the 48 Laws of Power.
Well, there's that moment when you're like, why is there a missionary in my city?
Yeah, or why is there?
Wait a minute. Why is there like a Buddhist missionary in my city?
Why is David's entire army at the border of my civilization?
What are you talking about? They're not there. No,
It's just-
that's why when you just said,
don't worry, it's just a military exercise.
is there co-op?
I'm here to
That's when you said it like that.
I'm here to protect you. It was like in OG StarCraft when it was playable online. You would me and my friends would type in like, let's ally up, and we'd ally up with people and put siege tanks in front of them, and then unally, and it would just destroy their whole base. You just laugh.
The infancy of the internet.
Yeah. The infancy of the internet?
Yeah, that was back in like BattleNet.
The infamacy
Oh, no, that was the Wild West.
there was.
That was getting on GameSpy and trying to play any game and all that stuff. Is that it? You just finished your drink. Does that
Finished
mean
my
we're
Dr.
done?
Pepper. That means we're done, everyone. That means we're done, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Love hanging out. This is like relaxing time.
Sure
for
is.
us.
I think you forgot we were even doing a show.
It's fun. It's fun time.
Yeah.
And
fun time.
it's just great hanging out with you guys again. If you haven't yet, and you like what you listen to, you just like hanging out with normal dudes, kind of normal dudes.
Yeah.
With two normal dudes and spicy.
fair.
Whose scale on games is way too high. That's 75 on Assassin's Creed. I don't
No,
know
I
what
said
you're
like
thinking.
72, I thought.
72 is better.
Yeah, there is no post show. Yeah.
No post show today. Have a great week, everybody. Come subscribe to us on YouTube. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Not Assassin's Creed. Well, not good, but.